Hi Aries, welcome to your full moon in Virgo reading for March 6, 2023. Full moons close out cycles. We're definitely closing out a cycle as a lot of planets are changing. So, as a theme for the next 2 weeks, you have the World card, which is, believe it or not, closing out cycles. This is like the big graduation. These are tying up loose ends before we move on to that actual big change. It can be a protective spiritual box, meaning that while you're closing things up, um, you might be prevented from moving forward at the time, um, or yeah, you could feel some blockages, but it's not a bad thing. I guess that's why they call it a protective spiritual box. But it's just so that you can clean up and be very conscious and very aware of what it is you're cleaning up and why you're cleaning it up to move on to something else. Little things that you have to finish up before you move on to the next big, big cycle. The world can also portend travel, the need to travel, wanting to travel, making travel plans, um, big things happening out in the world. So it's not just your small area, but big worldly events that may also be closing out and shifting cycles as well, micro, macro. So let's see what is happening for you, what is being closed out in the next 2 weeks, what small details and uh, cleanup you have to do before you move on. The first card you have is the Wheel of Fortune. This is fortune. It's a change of luck. It is the turn of the wheel. I find it very interesting that it's coming along with the world because these are cycles. And if you're at the top of the wheel, you could go to the bottom. If you're at the bottom, you could go to the top. And with Saturn, the devil, with Saturn in play here, it could be both. And you could see if you were on the bottom, you go to the top. If you're at the top, you go to the bottom. But this, for me, is Saturn, the underlying situation, especially in this. And Saturn's making the big move. That's why I say that. Moving into Pisces on March 7th. And this changes a lot of things for the next 2.5 years. But there's even some 30-year cycles that are happening. So find your favorite astrologer. I'm not an astrologer. I do like astrology, but I'm not an astrologer. There's a few that I like. I like Astrolata if you're interested. And, who's one of my favorites? Heather. I'll find that and put it in the description box. She's also very, very good. There's a few good ones that I really enjoy, but I would look into it because that'll give you a lot of indication of where this could be happening very specifically in your chart and specifically for you, as this is a general reading, obviously. With that, you have the Seven of Cups, so choices. Big choices are happening here. There can be confusion in choices as the Wheel of Fortune turns, circumstances change, and so there's going to have to be some new decisions that come in, some big decisions. This is the card of the 7 planets, major planets that have something to offer you. Each one has something to offer you. Saturn is discipline. So it's offering you discipline and you're going to get it whether you want it or not. But there's more to it, obviously. In this case, I do feel like there will be some confusion. And this is what you're cleaning up, right? You maybe will now make that choice for better or for worse with the Wheel of Fortune. But remember that the wheel keeps spinning. So even if it is an unfortunate choice, it can turn around with the Wheel of Fortune. It may take some time because this is, again, some long-standing events here, especially with the World card. And some people may even be thinking about moving, maybe to another country. A lot of immigration happening right now, as we see, so that can be a big, big factor. I think with the major arcana there, it's also a a feeling that worldly events can have an effect on the choices that we are going to be making and dealing with Aries, with everybody. The thing that I like about the Wheel of Fortune is the snake here, which for me always indicates wisdom. And it's wisdom because there are things that we're learning along these cycles. Um, and these are the mysteries, these are the higher forces. The sphinxes are a mystery, but would be the opposite, right, of the devil, which is Saturn. Um, and the devil is just showing us things that need to be changed. So it's the underlying part of the wheel. Things are changing. Don't hold on too much to anything at this point because it's all going to be in flux. And with Pisces, Saturn in Pisces, it's very nebulous. Neptune. Okay, so that could cause confusion, but there are choices, and choices will have to be made even though there is confusion. So choices in finishing up some things that probably already are in play with the Wheel of Fortune. And the Seven of Cups for me always means, what does the heart want? So I think there's going to be some big shifts and changes in choices that you make here. For everybody, that's different. We'll get more information on that in a minute. How you're handling it, you have the Hanged Man. So you're not ready to make those choices yet, or what the hangman does is kind of suspend you. You're not able to make those choices just yet because you need to see things from a different perspective. The halo is around his head. That means there's a lot of energy around the head. So thinking, thoughts, how you perceive situations, and your perception is probably going to help you make choices, better choices, I hope, but choices. And let's see what else is going on here. And this could be in the work and health realm with the Eight of Pentacles. 8 is a lot of energy behind something. 7 is a unique choice. There's uniqueness in your thinking or in the choices that you want to make. So the Eight of Pentacles is seeing things differently from a work perspective and a health perspective. You're putting a lot of energy, a lot of focus, and this is interesting because this is actually pushing back distraction so that you can get the job done, so you can get the work done. And the Hanged Man is giving you enough time and space, and probably alone time, which I think Aries, especially Aries rising, is going to have a lot of. Now, Aries will have that too, but Aries rising especially. And there's going to be quite a bit of time that you're going to want to spend alone to work on your craft, to deal with, to push back distraction and just get the job done. So it seems to me like there can be changes in choices, and once you make those changes, boom, you're ready to go. But that can leave you isolated a little bit. It's not the Hermit, but it is the Hanged Man, and it is maybe waiting for the proper time to maybe bring this situation out, to bring the business that you're working on or the projects that you're working on out while you're perfecting it. But the interesting thing about the Eight of Pentacles is that you already know how to do this. This is somebody who just whacks it out. They know what they're doing. They're seasoned. It is honing your craft, but it means that you're pretty good at it already. So it's sort of like putting the finishing touches on it, or, you know, the fine details. If it's health, this is good health card. It is putting a lot of energy behind good health or making a healthy life and work situation and wallet. Because through your craftsmanship, through the work that you're doing, you can make money and build your wealth. And as you can see, he has 6 of those pentacles already built up, and working on a few more. So he's building his wealth through his craft and what he loves to do. All right. But with the hangman there, you could be taking a pause. You could be taking a bit of time out to either figure that out or to see where the fine details go. We'll get more on that in a minute, but there is this seeing things from another perspective with the hanged man. And again, not everything is in your hands with the hanged man. In fact, there's a greater energy steering your wheel with the hanged man card. So it's almost like you're not very much in control of this cycle and what's happening. Although I do see you continually working on what it is you're doing, there is an aspect of it that isn't in your hands at the moment. So what is the result? You have the Two of Cups, which is partnerships, and it's desires that are reflected in other people around us. So you may find the perfect partner in work, romance, in any aspect that you are working on right now. You could find the right people the right place to sell your project. You could be searching for that kind of energy, the right person, the right group, the right place, the right building, whatever it is you're searching for, whatever that desire is, and you find it reflected in someone else. So if you're an artisan, right, you find the right gallery, the right person to sell your work, that kind of energy. Oh, so this could very well be on a romantic level, but it doesn't have to be, because even if this is work, this card reflects a happy working environment, a happy partnership. It's a fun environment as well, but it's also nurturing and caring, a nurturing and caring experience with whoever this is, with whatever desire that you meet face to face or that reflects from another person back onto you. And remember, this is projection, so you are projecting onto someone else that projects back onto you. Okay? So really nice outcome. Let's get some specifics going in here. So you can see now where maybe while you're waiting, you were waiting for the perfect person, the perfect desire to show up. And it does. So keep working at what you're doing, and but there is the need to change perspective here with that hangman card. All right. So you have the King of Cups. Yeah, this is very much my entrepreneur card. It's my Cancer card, but it's also somebody who, and we're dealing with emotion here, who has mastered or is in the stages of mastering their emotions. That's kind of their big overall purpose. And either they are or they're on their way to doing it. But again, this is my entrepreneur card. This is sort of like the calm in the emotional storm. So I do feel like there is a change of luck here where this is concerned. If you had some choices and confusion in choices, the Seven of Cups always asks you to choose what the heart wants. What is your authentic self is what you should be putting out there. And maybe that's something that you've learned in this past cycle as the cycle is moving on. And this helps you actually to calm the emotions, to center yourself. But also, very interesting about water and emotions is that's the magnetic energy. So emotions will magnetically draw what you are emotionally feeling. If you're feeling confused, you draw more confusion. It's that kind of thing. But if you feel very authentic in what it is you're doing, right? Then you get to draw all the good things to you that continually help you to work in your true, authentic self. Now, that can be changing a little bit here as well, because the Wheel of Fortune is changing, as is the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is sort of a forced change, because you're not able to do something until you change your perspective about something, or until the cycles move on, because this can very much be that the cycle, the forces, the planetary forces are holding you in, have you in a holding position until you see this, but until the cycles move on, because that's what the cycles are for. You get that opportunity to understand something, um, you understand it, and then you can move on. Now, if you didn't get the understanding, the cycle will come around again to give you another opportunity. So it's best to understand it and get it down now, so that when it happens the next time, you're well prepared, or maybe you're beyond it, which would be even better, right? And this is a mastery card, so well done. So this is taking action. This is my yes card. And by the way, this little card here has also a yes answer for you. I don't usually go by those, but you have two yes, so I'm going to say yes. Yes to yes. Anyway, you have the Ace of Swords, which is clarity. It's clarity of thought, which is exactly what the Hanged Man was bringing you. Clarity of thought. Once you have clear thought, you take action, right? You understand, you see, you know where you're going, boom, let's get it done. And that's very much Aries energy anyway. However, they often don't take the time to find that mental clarity before they go. They're act first, think later. And in this case, perhaps, the cycle was teaching you to think about it first, and then act on the clarity of thought, or knowing exactly where you're going. The Ace of Swords is triumph and security. It is my Excalibur card. It is truth. So there can be a lot of truth that comes out at this time, and taking action on it. That's the beautiful thing about it. There can be a lot of truth coming out, and everybody negates it, and everybody thinks it's fake news or what have you. But now there's clarity there. You can see it. The writing's on the wall, and now it's time to do something about it. And Aries is very much somebody who takes action on things. And so that's really great. Ace of Swords, yes card, yes to the work you're doing, yes to good health, yes to your corrected perception, yes to moving forward after the perception is corrected. Yes, 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 yes. Nice, I like that. Good, strong energy. It is the beginning of actions. It's also the beginning of a bit of a battle, or, yeah, I mean, yes. What do you use a sword for, right? But this assures you success. Now, aces are seeds, right? That hold all the entire cycle within that seed, right? A seed of a tree is still a tree. It's all in there. So it's all in there. It's all impacted. You are saying yes to this action. Yes, there'll be some challenges and rewards, but yes, you'll get through it, and yes, you will have clarity and be triumphant at the end of the cycle. And what are we at? We're at the world here with the end of the cycle. So I think that's very much an affirmative, that you have really understood what this past cycle has held for you, and yes, you get to move on with clarity, with clear vision, and with the ability to take action. Nice, really nice. And I mean, your reward is the Two of Cups and the Knight of Cups. This is fun. These could be gatherings. These are people who want to ask you out, or maybe you take the initiative, right, to ask somebody else out, or to be a partner of some sort. Excuse me. To be a partner of some sort. to share in an emotion. We have the King of Cups here. Now, the King of Cups is very much my card for single. He's usually the bachelor, and that's because Cancer has a very high. They're looking for the perfect partner. They have very high expectations, which are very, very difficult for anybody, but probably another Cancer to fulfill. But there's always somebody for someone, and maybe you see that clearly with the Ace of Swords, and you can change your perspective about possibly somebody who you were wondering about that had some confusion in relationships and partnerships, and now you see the clarity of it, and now you can kind of make that commitment with the Two of Cups, right? They look like they're committing to each other. Maybe deciding to really take that trip together, because the Knight of Cups is also somebody who's looking for fun and looking to kind of get away from it all. There's that kind of energy. Let's get a card. Yeah, you're the Chariot. So with the Chariot card there, that is definitely moving on, feeling more self-confident. It is associated with Cancer, and it's kind of taking control of situations, and you're doing this by honing your mental energies, putting them and directing them in the direction you want to go. I mean, that horse really knows where he's headed, right? For Fun Town. That was stupid. But anyway, he's heading to a good time for sure. And the Chariot is your vehicle, right? It's your vehicle. So your vehicle is what you think is where you want to go. And you're marrying that with your spirit and your emotion. And again, it's kind of like hyper Eight of Wands, where on a very internal level, you're feeling very self-confident, you know what you're doing, you know where you want to go, you know the right actions to take, and you just do it, and you go. And yeah, it's odd because even the mysteries here are leading you. So there is this sort of feeling that something that wasn't clear to you is finally coming to clarity. You're finally seeing the truth in situations, and on a worldly level with the World card, but also on an internal level. Your world, micro, macro, right? Where you know where you want to go and you're going to just do it. And I'm going to say by the end of the 2 weeks, I really feel like you are going to understand what it is that you needed to see differently and move on. Move on to what it is that you are doing. Move on to the next cycle, and quite victoriously as far as I'm concerned. So let's see what Spirit wants you to know. This is a great reading, really good reading. I like it. And I have a lot of Aries planets, so I like it a lot. You have the Four of Cups. Okay, so that goes very well with the Hanged Man because you have a contemplation. It's a contemplating card. And the Hanged Man is definitely somebody who's contemplating the situation to see it differently. And the Four of Cups, for me, is Spirit telling you, because this is what Spirit wants you to know, is telling you that fill the cup with what it is you want. Motivate yourself. Use that spark of life. Use your emotions to fill the cup with what it is you want. So put the emotion out there first, right? If you want to feel happy, find something that you feel happy about and really concentrate on that energy. Build that energy up. Whatever it is you want to feel, right? It's motivation. So you get to motivate yourself. And maybe you're motivating others too. That's also very possible. But we're contemplating that right now. Okay? Excellent. All right. Thank you for listening. I hope this has been helpful. I'll be back in 2 weeks with a new moon reading. Enjoy the new cycle. Take care.